Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen? In this video I'm going to show you how to create a RevContent affiliate marketing campaign for a ClickBank offer. So before I get into it, I'm going to talk about what I covered before. In the previous two videos I covered how to spy to find offers and potential campaigns to run. And then I covered how I create my ads for RevContent and how I test my ads in rounds. You can watch those previous videos by clicking up there or in the description below. So for this video I'm going to choose the ClickBank offer Nervogen. And in this video I'm going to cover creating the RevContent campaign and then my kind of like an insight into how I create my campaigns, like my structure. I like to do one campaign per device type to keep things organized. I'm not going to cover tracking because I do have a bunch of videos on my YouTube channel about tracking, so you can go watch those. I'll have a link to that below this video as well. And then I'm not going to cover creating a landing page because I'm just going to use one that I previously made inside of my course. I'll show you the landing page, but I'm not going to get into building it just for time purposes. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into it. So once you're inside your RevContent campaign, you can come click on create a campaign boost. And then for the boost name, I'm going to type in Nervogen. I'm going to be targeting desktop for this campaign. Nervogen VSL. I add my angles in there, relieve neuropathy, and then I'm going to date it to 14 Valentine's Day. So for bid type, I'm going to do CPC, and for the bid, I'm going to start out at 50 cents per click, and then we'll see how much data that gets. We can go up to 60 or 70, so I'm actually going to go with 60. And remember, you can change the bids once you start getting in the data. If you're not getting enough data, you can raise it and vice versa. I'm going to do a daily budget of $100 per day to start. I'm going to leave pacing on so it spends more evenly throughout the day. I'm not going to create a conversion pixel. I will upload a logo. Never mind, I thought I already made one for this campaign, but I'm just going to do automatically detect. We're going to start the day after, so we'll start this for Tuesday 9 a.m. For end date, I'll do never ends. Traffic types, so you can choose ad block, native, or push notifications. I'm going to leave it on native. So country targeting, that's one thing that I could have in here too. I'm going to go with the USA, USA only for now. So include states, and I will do all the regions, all the zip codes, all the cities. And then device targeting right here, desktop. So if we wanted to get super narrow, you can create separate campaigns for Mac OS and then Windows, but I'm not going to be doing that. So browser targeting, I'm going to target all these browsers and then I'm just going to let the data speak for itself. Language targeting, of course we're going to go English for the US campaign. UTM tracking, I'm not going to get on that right now. I'm going to be putting in the tracking link on the next step. And then view page tracking, I'm not going to be doing that right now, so now we can click on save. And then for adding content, I'm going to add new. And then for the destination URL, that's where you can come put in your tracking link. So there's my tracking link. I'm going to have it blurred out though, so I'm going to click submit, and now we can get into creating the ads. So I'm going to upload that image. Alright, so we have that image uploaded. And now I'm going to come and grab the headlines. So in the previous videos I showed you how I come up with my headlines, and I came up with 4. I found 2 on Adplexity and changed them a little bit, and then I found these are mine, and I'm just going to test out mine versus ones that are semi-proven already. So I'm just going to come and paste the first one in. Suffering from nerve pain, do this immediately, watch video. And then for the brand name, I'm going to put Insider Reviews. That is just a domain that I have for tutorials for my YouTube channel. And while I'm at it, I'm going to show you guys the landing page that we're using. So here is the landing page that we'll be using in this example campaign. It's just a super simple one-page landing page that has a couple lines of text, a headline, posted 2 days ago, the views, the likes, the video time. These are pretty common inside of Adplexity once you start doing your spying. So what I did is that I imported this into Landerbolt and then I just changed some things up. Super simple, super self-explanatory. And then once you have your image and your headline uploaded, you can just come and click on submit. So now the content will be pending and hopefully it will get approved by tomorrow and we can start getting some traffic. So what I'm going to do now is just add in the 3 other headlines with the same image. I'm not going to make you guys watch that because it's pretty simple, but I will come back and resume this video once the campaign gets approved, and I'll show you where to go from there. So I will see you there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. So the campaign, I submitted it on Valentine's Day, which was February 14th. It got approved on February 15th. And today is February 16th. It is early in the morning. We haven't received any traffic yet today, but I got some really exciting news for you guys. Yesterday, we ended up getting our first conversion. Your campaign RevContent Global Nervolgen received its first sale, which is super exciting because I set up the ads and the ad copy right in front of you, so now we can go see what made the sale. So if I go to yesterday, so you can see we got 387 visits, 208 clicks for a 53% landing page click-through rate, which is really good. You can see we got one conversion for $40.61, which was the lowest payout level for the Nervolgen offer. But we also got an upsell from that same person who bought the original offer, and that paid us $31.41 for a grand total revenue of $72.02. So when the campaign got approved yesterday, the traffic came flooding in, and we got a whole bunch of clicks within an hour and a half-ish, and we got a conversion in that short amount of time. So that tells me that there's a lot of potential with this campaign, and I'm super excited about it. So in this video, we're going to do the data dive for day 1, and I have a little note. We made a sale and upsell. Whoop, whoop. So cheesy. What we'll cover, we'll go over the RevContent variables, how to blacklist widget IDs, how to change bids, and the difference between the publisher ID and the widget ID. And then I'll give you a live example from the website that the sale came from. Let's get into it. So first off, there's 4 variables that we can track. The first one is widget IDs, and this is just the widget ID performance, the content ID. This is, remember, we created 4 ads, so there's 4 pieces of content. We can track that. The boost ID is just your campaign ID, and then advanced targets. So this identifies where the click originated from. This one isn't so helpful anymore ever since they removed the targeting features. Before, you could see like which category, like health and fitness, was it news, was it sports or whatever, but now it just shows was it native, push, or ad block. So this one isn't that helpful anymore, but I'll still show you that. So those are the 4 variables, and now let's get a live look into the first one, which is the widget ID. So an important thing to note right here is I have my volume account integrated with RevContent, which is super awesome because if we find a, let's find our conversion first. So our conversion came from the widget ID of 111110. Instead of going to RevContent and finding that widget and increasing the bid, we could do it right from here. Like that just went to 49 cents. We could enter in, oh, you know what, I want to do 70 cents or whatever. You can just do that right from here, which is super cool. If there's a lot of widgets that are wasting traffic, you can see that I paused this one last night, the 120555 widget ID. If I wanted to resume it, I could just come click right here. If I wanted to turn this one off, I could just come and do this. And then this one, I could come and do this. So it's super cool, and it saves a lot of time when you're going through widgets because there's thousands of widget IDs, and this makes everything simpler. But I'm gonna also show you, so if you don't have this integration, you can come over to your campaign boost. So here's our campaign boost. I had to turn it off yesterday because once it got approved, I logged in and it was at like $120 spend. And I was like, okay, it'll probably stop. And then I like waited another 10 minutes and it got to 150. I was like, oh, okay, that's enough. I'm gonna shut it off. I'm gonna resume it later on today. But let's click into the campaign name, widget targeting. And then this will go on into the next point of how to blacklist widget IDs. So you can see right here, let's sort by clicks actually. We spent $40 on the widget ID 120555, and it cost us $40, and we know that that didn't make the sale. And then in volume, you can see that the widget ID of 120555 only shows up as 22 clicks, but on here it charged us for 67 and it cost us $40. So that would be a good one to blacklist. And I already did this, but all you have to do is come over, click on this blacklist thing, and you can do it for this campaign or the entire account. Let's say, for example, we don't want the widget ID on Judge Report 188808. Let's say like the spam score on volume, which you can find by going like this. You can get suspicious visits and suspicious clicks. So let's say that Judge Report widget ID had a really high suspicious visits count or percentage. I could come over here, I could click on it just so it highlights the column or the row, and then I could come and click on blacklist for this campaign or the entire account. I'll do this campaign. So that's how simple it is to blacklist a widget ID. And now I'm going to show you how we can change bids. So there's a bunch of different ways we can do it. We can do it inside of volume, which I already showed you. We can adjust the campaign bid by percentage. And this is what I did yesterday after we spent $150. I'm going to adjust the campaign bid percentage. I did minus 20%. And that changed my bid from 60 cents to 48 cents for every widget ID in the campaign. That is the second way to do it. And then you can also come into volume. You can export all the widget IDs into a CSV, and then you can take all the CSV data, like have a column for widget IDs, and then you can have individual bids on the next column for what you want to bid, and then you can bulk upload that into RevContent. So if you guys are interested in learning how to do that, I'll have this RevContent link in the description below because it is super handy and volume makes it super easy to export the data. So that's the third way you can do it. Okay, so before I get into the difference between the pub ID and the widget ID, I'm gonna just go over, because we already covered widget IDs. I just want to show you how it looks in volume. So this is content ID, and I have two different columns. This is column, or yeah, template number 2. The content ID, remember we have 4 ads, and this is just a unique ID for each one of those ads. So we can tell that the ad ending in 158 resulted in the conversion. So we can come back to manage content, and you can see the content ID right here. And remember, I set up 4 ads, the same image. The image is our control, and then the headlines are our variables. The highest click-through rate headline was the doctor simple method relieves neuropathy at 0.07%. I think all these can do a lot better, so I will be doing a round 2 of testing new images. And right here is 0.068. The squatting position was my wildcard one, and that's looking like it's got the second highest click-through rate. And then suffering from nerve pain, do this immediately. Watch video was the 3rd lowest. And then this one was really bad down here. How to relieve neuropathy in a few days. So I could even come in and pause that if I wanted to. Just turn that off because I just had a feeling that that headline wasn't going to do good. And I mean, once you get 100,000 impressions on something, you can start making educated decisions on the tests that you're performing. Ideally, I would like to have at least $100 in spend on each ad, especially for round 1 before making decisions. But I just want to show you that not everything has to spend this amount before you make a decision. You can go with your gut, and the longer you do native ads, the more you can start trusting your gut instead of spending a lot of money to see if the tests are going to work, if that makes any sense. So that was content ID, and here is boost ID. So yeah, the boost ID is just the campaign ID that you're running. Very simple. And then advanced targets, like I told you before, it used to be like you could see health and fitness and you could target certain categories, but now it's just that when we were setting up the campaign, there was 3 options of targeting native, push traffic, or ad block traffic. And that's just what comes in for the advanced target. Alright, now lastly, I'm going to show you the difference between the publisher ID and the widget ID and give you a live example and show you like what website our ad showed on that resulted in a sale. So to do that, I'm going to come to widget ID. I'm going to sort by, where's revenue? There it is. So there's the widget ID. Now I can come into RevContent, go back into widget targeting, And then I could search by pub ID, but I'm going to actually search by this widget ID number. So 5 1s and a 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. Enter. So gunauction.com, we got 172 impressions, 1 click. So obviously that 1 click was that 1 sale. And our average cost per click was 60 cents. And what we could do before we get into this is just come raise that bid up a little bit. So now what I can do is click into this site, and this is how you'll be able to see the difference between the publisher ID and the widget ID. So the publisher ID is the website. So Gun Auction's publisher ID is 109001, and it's got 3 widget IDs on its website. And these are the 3 widget IDs right here. 5 1s and a 0, 5 1s and a 3, 111, 941. So those are the 3 sections that this website has for widget IDs. So now what we can do is come and highlight this. Okay, so we're at gunauction.com, and what we can do here is just right click on the sidebar over here, and we can do view page source. Now we can do control find and type in W equals 111. So on the home page there's one widget ID section, and that's 111941, and that's right here. So that is these ads up here, and if you hover over them you can see that you can see trends.revcontent.com. But now what we can do is come into a different section like guns for sale, and you can see that there's ads up here. And then if we scroll down, you can see from the web, and these are more RevContent ads. So now we can do the same thing, view page source, type in W equals 111. So the first one is 111110, and that's this one. So that's where our conversion came from. And then if we go down, you can see at the way bottom there's that other widget ID of 111941. That's cool that we can find out exactly what website and what section resulted in sales. And it's always a good idea to be making notes, whether it's in an Excel file or whatnot, on really good publisher and widget IDs that have worked for you in the past, because that'll always come in handy down the road when you keep running more and more native ads campaigns. So there's a lot more that goes into native advertising. Like there's a bunch of things inside of volume that you can break down by. You can break down by landers, offers, connection types, country, IP address, device types, OS, browsers. I can show you browsers real quick because sort by visits. Chrome had the most, and Safari had the second. Like look at Safari right here. I drill down and see what Safari widget ID is resulting out in all the traffic, and just go delete that before excluding a whole browser. So like there's a bunch of stuff like that. Refer domain, live events, language, date, etc. So if you guys are interested, I have been working on a native ads course for the last 2 to 3 months, and I've been putting a lot of freaking work into this course, covering how I make campaigns, how I do my native ads optimizations. I'm going to continue this campaign inside of my training, and then I'm going to go into the RevContent traffic source postback URL so you can see your data inside of RevContent, and then how to set up rules so you don't have to be manually increasing and decreasing bids on the widget ID level. You can use rules that can handle that type of stuff for you, which is a game changer. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and in this video I got something super exciting to share with you. And I know I usually do my notepad for the overview, but this was just too exciting, so I decided to spice it up and add some color. So for the day 2 of traffic, which was February 17th, we didn't run any on the 16th because we were waiting for our round 2 of ads to get approved. We got another sale, which is super awesome. And not only that, but that sale, when that sale happened, 4 other super important things happened. And I'm going to get into those right now. So you can see the sale here was for $97, and everything was tracking right, the tracking ID, everything was perfect. And the first thing that I wanted to cover out of the 4 is that the new ad that we made inside of round 2 actually made the sale, and this was the exact ad. It kind of looks like an x-ray version of a foot, but that had a decent click-through rate as well, but that was the only sale for the day 2 of traffic, so that's super exciting. You remember after the first day of traffic, we found our winning headline, so we used that winning headline with this ad, and it's looking good so far in the early stages. So that was the first one. The second one is, as you remember in previous lessons, we set up the RevContent traffic source postback URL. So when we got this conversion yesterday, it fired back into RevContent. You can see the site here for conservativeinstitute.org. We had 1 click, 1 conversion, cost us 48 cents, and our return was $97.16 for a profit of $96.68. So what we did right away was we went and increased that bid up from 48 cents to 60 cents, and we'll keep an eye on that. So that is super exciting that you'll be able to see all of the conversions inside of RevContent. So in previous lessons, I also showed you how to set up automated rules for volume, and one of them was to block low click-through rate widgets after they meet a certain criteria, and then add them to a list. And I'm very excited to show you that it worked. It did block the low click-through rate widget. It met that criteria, and it automatically did that for us last night. We didn't have to touch anything, and it added them to this list, which was blacklisted for low click-through rate, and we can have up to 500 of these. So that's super exciting. We didn't do anything, and that's when you start getting the automation to work for you. That's when you can really dial in your campaigns and scale ClickBank offers on native ads. So I'm just super excited about that, and I hope you guys are too, because automation is the key to success with native in my mind. And then number 4, so in the previous lesson we also set up a new landing page, and we did the same thing as the V1 landing page, but we tested out headline number 2. This landing page had the conversion yesterday. So if you remember, the V1 landing page headline was like, how to relieve neuropathy in a few days, watch. And we did 4 little tweaks. How to relieve neuropathy in just, we added just. So we added just, and then a few days we did period, and instead of parentheses watch, we did parentheses watch video. The reason I had the landing page headline for V2 so similar was because I already know that the V1 headline was working, and we were getting a really good landing page click-through rate and earnings per visit. So I didn't want to like totally change everything up. I just wanted to make a few little tweaks, and a little bit of a split test like this, just like 4 tiny things, is enough of a split test for me. This can make a big difference, and you might not think so, but it's crazy what little tweaks can do in the long run. So those were the 4 things. I hope you guys are excited about this as I am, because like I set up all this stuff right in front of you and it's all starting to come together. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back inside the volume account and we'll get into reading the data part 2. And a whole bunch more. Like native ads was the reason that I was able to become a ClickBank super affiliate. I'm going to be teaching my exact detailed methods of how I became a ClickBank platinum member. So that is it for this video. If you guys are interested in that course, I'll have a link to it below. So if you got any value from this video, I would appreciate a like on it. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, smack that subscribe button and that notification bell to stay up to date with all my future videos. And I will see you in the next one.